Georgie and Mandy's first marriage co-creator Steve Holland reveals why Sheldon Cooper didn't return for the spin-off's Thanksgiving episode. The CBS sitcom switches up the formula from young Sheldon, going from single camera to multicam and bringing in a live studio audience. But so far, Georgie and Mandy has links to the original. Missy, Reagan Rivard, Mary, Zoe Perry, and Meemaw, Annie Potts, have all made regular appearances so far, but although he's been referenced, Ian Armitage's Sheldon Cooper has not appeared just yet. In an interview with TV Line, co-creator Steve Holland opened up about why Sheldon doesn't appear during Georgie and Mandy's Thanksgiving episode, even though the holiday premise allowed it a natural avenue to prominently feature other returning young Sheldon characters. Holland, who created the multicam comedy with Chuck Lorre and Stephen Molaro, explains that the inclusion of Sheldon could have ended up hurting the story because it made sense for the story we were trying to tell. Because the family is splinter, after the death of Georgie and Sheldon's father George Sr., Lance Barber, the story of the episode involved their mother Mary, Zoe Perry, not wanting to get together with her family and celebrate Thanksgiving, something that likely would not have happened if Sheldon had come home from Caltech that year. Read Holland's full quote below. What Sheldon's absence means for Georgie and Mandy. It's given space to the supporting cast. Thanksgiving, as it's simply titled, tells a similarly simple story. Mary is struggling to move forward following the death of her husband, George, in the young Sheldon finale. Georgie, Montana Jordan, wants the family to spend the holiday together, but it brings up too many memories for Mary. In the end, a middle ground is reached and the episode ends with Georgie, Mary, and Missy visiting George's grave. However, this story would indeed have played out very differently if the entire cast had reunited. Thanksgiving, which is directed by Mark Sendrowski, with writing credits shared by Holland, Molaro, Jim Reynolds, and Connor Kilpatrick, explains that Sheldon is away at university and can't make it. His presence would have been more of a special occasion, shifting Mary's feelings about the entire event. There will be a time when Ian Armitage should be brought into the Georgie and Mandy cast, if only to confront the complicated relationship between Sheldon and Georgie. However, so far, his absence allows the spotlight to shine elsewhere, bringing other characters to the fore who weren't the focus of young Sheldon. Will Sheldon return in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage? The odds are unlikely in Season 1. Ultimately, it seems likely that Ian Armitage will follow the lead of his fellow former Sheldon Jim Parsons and refrain from appearing on screen in the new spinoff until a pivotal moment. However, the star is not currently attached to any upcoming projects that have been officially announced. While it is possible that he could appear in his original role as Ziggy Chapman in HBO's rumored Big Little Lies Season 3, that project has not yet come to fruition. It seems more likely that he would appear in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 2 or beyond, giving the new show time to establish its own identity before yoking it back to the iconic Big Bang Theory character. As the first show in the universe not to feature Sheldon as a central character, it is important to let it develop its own sensibility organically. However, the show has not yet been renewed for any further seasons, and should the ratings struggle, it seems probable that producers will try to get Armitage to reprise his role sooner rather than later. Our take on Sheldon's absence. His story has already been told. Sheldon Cooper has already been the focus of 2 series. The Big Bang Theory, in which the iconic character is played by 4-time Emmy winner Jim Parsons, began this journey, and young Sheldon continued it, though it took a step back chronologically. Although Sheldon could appear later on, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage is much more about Mandy, Emily Osment, Audrey, Rachel Bay Jones, and Jim, Will Sasso. Their stories are not yet fully told, so this is the chance for the show to give its full attention to them, even though the previous main characters are still important. Read more. For more insight into the vast coterie of other characters from the previous spin-off who have yet to return in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, read about the complete young Sheldon cast. While the character has moved from Texas to Pasadena as of the events of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, learn about Sheldon's move to Germany at a later point in the timeline before the events of the Big Bang Theory, potentially complicating Armitage's ability to reprise his role even further. In a recent interview, young Sheldon creator Chuck Lorre explained the absence of Sheldon Cooper in the Thanksgiving episode of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, offering a deeper look into why the character didn't return for this pivotal family event. Lorre revealed that while fans were eager to see Sheldon's reaction to his brother's big day, the decision to keep him absent was intentional and rooted in the narrative's evolution. Sheldon, who has often been the quirky center of attention in the family, was written out for this episode to give Georgie the spotlight. This allowed the show to delve deeper into Georgie's character and his relationship with Mandy, highlighting their journey as they navigate the complexities of marriage and family. Sheldon has been a central figure in so many important moments, Lorre explained. But Georgie and Mandy needed their moment of growth and celebration. By keeping Sheldon away, we let the younger characters step into their own roles in the story, allowing the audience to witness a new dynamic within the family. Lorre also emphasized that Sheldon's absence reflects his character's ongoing emotional evolution. At this point in the series, Sheldon's life has shifted, and he's no longer the same naive, hyper-intelligent child that viewers first encountered. He's still somewhat disconnected from family events, focusing on his scientific pursuits and personal growth. Sheldon has always been a bit of an outsider in his family's big moments, and as we move further into his adulthood, we want to show how his absence might naturally unfold, Lorre noted. Moreover, keeping Sheldon out of the Thanksgiving episode also provided the opportunity to address the larger family dynamics in a more grounded, realistic way. The Cooper family, particularly Georgie and Mandy, are dealing with their own set of challenges, and their Thanksgiving celebration served as a moment of clarity and bonding. In the end, Lorre's explanation for Sheldon's absence makes perfect sense within the larger narrative. The decision wasn't about removing him from the family, but rather about giving other characters the chance to shine. With Sheldon's storyline continuing to evolve, the Thanksgiving episode became a moment for Georgie and Mandy to take center stage.